If you watched my previous video about Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 being delisted on Steam and Xbox for Germany and Italy, there's been a news update on the situation. Those same pages I quoted before have since removed SA1 and 2, so they will not be delisted in those countries any longer. As far as we are concerned, Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 will not be getting delisted anywhere come December 6th. All of the other games covered in my first video will still be getting delisted on December 6th. So that's 60 classic titles still going bye-bye from being purchased. To add some additional clarification, because I've seen some confusion, delisting simply means that a product will no longer be sold. They are not removing the game from your Steam library if you already own it. They will not take the game from your account on December 6th. Crystal clear? Good. Now, I'm about to put on my tinfoil hat here. I think it is very curious that both Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 even got flagged for delisting by accident. How do you make an accident like that? All of these other games were in a completely different ballpark, so how does an accident like this happen? Okay, conspiracy theory time. I think they do still have plans to eventually delist Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. In my mind, what happened was some employee threw up the list in one afternoon following some vague instructions from a higher up. And while looking through the list, those two were on there, but as a later down the line delisting. I also want to say this, I'm not fighting for these specific ports to remain on store shelves. I'm informing people that the only way to play them without emulation or piracy is going away soon if you do not already have them on your accounts. Sonic Adventure DX and Sonic Adventure 2 Battle ports on modern platforms have a whole host of issues that still make the originals the definitive versions to play. Sonic Adventure DX is the worst of the two, while SA2 is more put together. Still, neither is an acceptable form for these beloved adventure-era titles to exist in for audiences today. The fact these titles have been neglected for so long is both depressing and infuriating, isn't it? If you grew up on these games, seeing a worse side of them as the modern option for people to play just plain doesn't feel good. It gives other people the wrong impression of something that was fundamentally different for you, and if a modern port of a beloved game prevented people from enjoying it due to faults not present in the original, that's unacceptable. Do you know what's even worse? It's disrespectful to the people who put hours, days, weeks, months, and years of their time into cultivating the original experiences. They gave it their all to make these Sonic experiences for us. And what do they see now? Sure, Sega has their game up on storefronts, but it's a poor man's version of them. Is their work suddenly unimportant now that it's sold all it's going to sell? The original creators don't deserve this disrespect of their work being misrepresented after every man-hour they've put in. Video games are an art form, and the state these games have been left in to just rot is borderline criminal. I'm not going to go on a whole rant about game preservation here today, but if you're a younger gamer, like around 18 or so, there will come a time when you have that itch to return to old games from your past for nostalgia's sake, and one of the games you return to will be in a poor state that hampers your enjoyment of it. People won't get to experience it like you did, and that will hurt deep in your soul. Not being able to share your experience with others, which is an important way to form connections with other people, feels awful. And yet, we have no control over it. We're just supposed to accept that our favorite games from our childhood are just one day going to no longer be available for others to enjoy. That's the big takeaway here. These games being left in subpar states means so much more than, boo-hoo, an old crusty game isn't exactly like how it was back in the day. Get over it. It's a means of bridging the gap between people and bringing us together, and for some games, that bridge is actively burning, preventing new people from crossing it and making those connections. Does that all make sense? Also, remake culture is booming right now. This is an opportune time to get on it already. Keep the core story of SA1 and 2, but modernize it with better delivery of it, such as improved voice acting, voice direction, and just structure of the story. They can go back and add little things to tie the story together and give it a greater sense of cohesion too. This also gives Sega a chance to gauge the interest of the old adventure formula, letting them see what modern audiences would think of it versus their boost formula. I wouldn't necessarily say the boost formula has completely worn out its welcome yet, but it will one day. I think there's a way for adventure style control and Sonic's boost to coexist in a beautiful formula, but time will tell, I suppose. If you've come this far, Thank you for watching, and I hope this clears things up. Thank you to the commenter who informed me the page was updated in the first place. Life just gets so busy that it's easy for things like this to slip through the cracks. I also want to give an even bigger thanks to everyone who subscribed and joined our channel over the past couple days. I completely soared past 250 subscribers all the way to 292 at the time of recording this. I want to turn content creation into a proper career on here, but I'm still figuring things out, so bear with me if there's any hiccups in uploads or little errors. That's all I've got to say for now. If you're still watching and aren't subscribed, would you please subscribe? That number ticking up lets me know I'm doing right by you. And if I wanted to be a bit TMI here, I'd share that waking up to it being a bigger number every day makes my dopamine receptors shoot like you wouldn't know. It's honestly a feeling of satisfaction I've never felt before, and it's driven me so much further to making more content. One button click delivers me a healthy meal of encouragement, and with how hard life can be with money and health problems aplenty, it's so important to me. Double thank you if you've listened to all of this. I hope to see you again soon in my next video, and have a great day.